You're listening to the Sports Ferret on Academy FM.
Good morning, sport lovers of Folkestone. This is Kevin Daly, the Sports Ferret, bringing you an hour of sporting news on Academy 105.9. And the next hour is sponsored by the Natural Health Centre of Castle Hill Avenue in Folkestone. So coming up on today's show, we've got news and reports on hockey, football, bowls, rugby, boxing and whatever else we can cram in. And we're also joined by two special guests, Tim Warren and Angie Saunders from the Folkestone Running Club. And they'll be telling us all about what goes on up the club there, up at the Three Hills. So we'll be chatting to them later on in the show. So what we got coming up today music-wise? Oh yeah, it's nearly Christmas. Apparently we've got Wham on the playlist. Those two humbugs, Wayne and Chris, eh? They put a right down on Christmas, but we're not like that here. We're looking forward to Christmas. Okay, here we go then. Going to move up to 1983 now. It's a great track by Dire Straits. Twisting by the Pool, 1983, and we're all having a little twist, a little go in the studio here. Now, today, as I said, we're joined by Tim and Angie from the Running Club. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning, Angie.
Morning.
How are you? And we're also joined in the background by Adam, Rebecca. Adam's 10, Rebecca's 7, and Abigail's 5. Morning, guys. Morning. Morning. Okay, they are here, and I'm sure before the show's out, we're going to hear from them. But anyway, let's start with you, Tim. Let's start with you, Tim. Now, Tim, what's your role at the club?
Well, as well as a runner, I'm kind of the social and press officer now, as well as coaching the juniors on a Thursday night. But yeah, mainly it's down to me to get the club in the news, really, in the papers,
Okay.
on the website.
All right. And Ange, what are you? You're just a runner, are you?
Yeah, just a runner.
That's a good thing to be, actually, because sometimes, you know, there's people that like to do all the stuff that Tim does, but sometimes, I mean, you're a part of this ladies' teams. I've noticed you've done a lot of cross countries lately.
A lot of cross countries.
Where have you been then?
We've been all over the place.
Yeah.
Bexley, Swanley,
Yeah.
Tunbridge.
Right. I mean, is this real cross country, like really up to your neck in mud and rubbish and?
It's been fairly muddy.
Yeah.
In the wind, in the rain.
Oh, good. I love to hear that. And now, Tim, I must say, first of all, that you do a great job in the blogging and the reporting because, as people have noticed, I'm sure, over the last, I don't know, could be a year or so, every time you pick up either the Herald or the Kent paper, there's a big splash of red, white and blue, and that's down to you, I believe.
Well, I think all us runners, we love to see ourselves in the print, to be honest.
Yeah.
Myself included. So I kind of took it upon myself, really. You know, I run local races. I want to see my result in the paper. So I kind of offered to take it over from others at the club that, you know, were doing a lot more at the club as well. And, you know, I offered to take it on, really. So I'm pleased to do so.
You're doing a fantastic job. And it is noticed by your fellow athletes, I'm sure, and by everybody in the local press, actually, what a good coverage the club has got. Now, the only thing with having your picture done when you're running is it looks like you're gurning, doesn't it? You know, I mean, everyone that's had a picture, I've seen some shockers of you, Angie, where you're running and you just get that moment where you've got this horrible gurney face like you left your teeth out, you know. So, Ange, for you, when you've got your head down and you see someone with the camera, what do? You give them the old thumbs up?
No, I do try to smile.
Yeah, no, you do actually. There's been some cracking ones of you. I'm only taking a mickey. But now, Tim, tell us a little bit about the sort of current membership of the club and how it all works.
Yeah, I think there's over 100 senior members at the moment. We've also got a lot of junior members too, which is great because that is the future of the club. Like I said, myself and Mick and a few others, we take the juniors on a Thursday night, so they definitely are the future. But yeah, with the senior members, you know, we've got a wide variety of abilities. You know, certainly you don't have to be the fastest to run in our club. You know, there's a real mix of people. We're very nice, you know, social mix as well. And basically a lot of people just like to run at a weekend, and like you say, they get their name in the paper or on the website. It's all the better as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people are probably, there's a lot of unattached runners still at races. And do you think people are sometimes put a little bit daunted by, the club shirt?
They possibly are, but they shouldn't be, because what I like about our club is we wait for the last runner, especially like cross country at the moment. It's the thing we've been doing, and the morale and everything that's been going with that has been brilliant. We all support each other. We cheer everyone on, we motivate them, we have cake afterwards. It's a real... It's not just about the running, although obviously the running is a big part of it. We're all there for one another, we all support one another. It's all about everyone's individual development. They all want to get better, get their PBs. We all encourage that, and we just work together, to be honest.
Okay, great. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of music now, and then we're going to come back to Angie, and she's going to tell us all about the ladies section and how thriving that has become over the years, and they've been winning a lot of medals as well. So, but first of all, we're going to go back to 2006 now. Great track from the Fratellis, Chelsea Dagger.
105.9 Academy FM.
Saturday Sport. You're listening to the Sports Ferret on Academy FM.
Academy FM.
Bit of Chelsea Dagger there. That one finishes rather quickly, doesn't it? It nearly caught me out. Okay, I'm normally worth one ferret mistake each week, but I'll try and keep the ferret mistakes down this week. I dropped a few in last week just on purpose, just to test you. So anyway, let me just recap my last Saturday. I was in the show here with the Rugby Boys, that's right, yeah, the Rugby Boys. And then straight after I left the studio, I went up to the Three Hills and watched a bit of basketball because there was a game up there between the Folkestone Saints and guys from the Nepalese community. It was really only a friendly knockabout, but they're trying to make the awareness of how popular basketball is in this community, because they're trying to get an outdoor court up at Weymouth Road there on Cheriton Rec. So it was kind of like an exhibition thing, but it was great fun. After that, I came home, had a quick cup of tea, and then I went up to Burlington Fields to actually watch the rugby, which I'll be telling you about later, but it was a really good game. Folkestone won, and Moose and Lee were up there, so they done really well. And then on the way back, I popped in the Three Hills again, and I watched a bit of hockey. I watched the Ops third team. It was a really, really fast game. Sadly, they lost 1-0, but we're going through some hockey scores later. But I'm going to start off today with the usual stuff, with the football. So we start with Invicta. Last Saturday, they beat Tooting and Mitcham 2-0 away, both goals coming from Ian Draycott. And then during the week, they beat Molesey 1-0, thanks once again to another Ian Draycott goal. Today, it's a long-awaited home game. This time, Three Bridges are the visitors. But, I'll tell you what, Folkestone did all right on the road. They had 4 games on the road, and they picked up 10 points out of a possible 12. So I think Neil Cugley and the boys would be happy with that. Now, Hive, they're also on a winning streak. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. Last week, they beat Faversham 2-0 at home. And today, it's away to Chipstead. Tuesday evening sees a trip along the coast to Worthing. Now, Worthing are currently second, so that's going to be a tough game. And also, it will be a bit of a strange game. It's one of those teams now, Worthing have got a 3G pitch, so it does make a bit of a difference to the game. So, fixture-wise, next Saturday, which is the 19th, Invicta play Worthing at Cheriton Road. Hyde meet Three Bridges at home. And then the next fixture is on Sunday the 27th at Reachfields, when the two clubs meet each other. 3 o'clock down at Reachfields there. Because both teams are playing so well, really expecting a massive crowd, and just get there early. It's going to be a brilliant game, I'm sure of it, because they're just doing so, banging in the goals and playing consistently well. And of course, there's the added edge of the local bragging rights. Now then, Hawkins Town, they lost 1-0 to Premier Division side Stansfield in the Kent Intermediate Challenge Shield last week, and today it's back to the league action when they visit Bearsted Reserves. They're slipping down the table a little bit. They're currently 5th place, but because they've been in so many cups, they're actually like 4 league games behind the leaders, New Romney, so it is possible to catch them up if they hit a winning streak as well. Now, under 18s news, Folkestone Invicta travel to Corinthian FC tomorrow, hoping to stay top of that league. They're doing really well. Corinthian are 9th in the table. More under 18s news from Hive. Well, sadly, they lost 5-2 to Whitstable. The goals came from Jesse Everson and William Lindsay Webb, but they were 2-0 up at half-time. In the second half, Whitstable mastered the atrocious conditions better than Hive and banged in 5 goals. Tomorrow, it's try again at South Road against Hollands and Blair, and thanks to Ian Griggs there for that report. week in, week out. He sends his reports in, win or lose. Well done to you, Ian. Hawkinge under-14 youth Colts. 2 weeks ago, they beat Ashford United Colts 1-0, the goal coming from Finley Taylor. But last week, they lost to Dover Rangers 3-0. So with the Christmas break coming up, they've now played 9 games and are sitting 5th place out of 9 teams. Now, a little bit of news about the Folkestone Invicta disability team. Now, I don't know how Garrett Wilson does it, but he finds some fantastic fixtures for these lads. They were on the road last week. They went to play a QPR 11 and up at, where was it, Vale Park Sports Centre at Wembley, and they come away 8-1 winners. So well done to you, Garrett, and the boys. Now, listen to this. Billy Hayter got 1, Connor Hunter got 1, Kieran Tott got 1, and he was also a man of the match. But well done to Gold Machine and the captain, John Thornton. Morning, John. I know you're listening in, so I want to say good morning to Garrett, John, and of course Dave and Anne. I hope they're listening in as well. So well done to you guys. I just love reading out your results, because I've seen the guys play, and the standard of football is so good. It's nice to keep them on the airwaves. Last bit of football news now. This is the Hive Stars and Stripes under-16s. They played the Grasshoppers last week, and they came away from a wet and windy lid with all 3 points. The Hive dominated most of the game, the 2 goals being scored in the second half. The first was scored by Patrick Matthews, with the second one coming from Jacob Hayward. The whole team played some really nice football at times. This win keeps them top of Division 1 by 4 points and maintains their 6-game unbeaten run. So well done to you, Paul Middleton. Thanks for sending that report in, Paul. And he's another good one of my Ferrety reporters out there that send me in all this stuff to make the show sound really, really personal. So, guys, if you want your report read out, then all you've got to do is get in touch with me and tell me the score. OK, that's enough chat for the moment. Oh, what a great track coming up. This is one of my all-time favourites from 1971. You know it. As soon as you hear that intro, you're up, you're out. You're shaking them hips. Bit of brown sugar. Wow, Rolling Stones, you can't beat a bit of Stones on a Saturday morning. Boom. Okay, now it's back to our guests. We're joined today by Tim Warren and Angie Saunders from the Folkestone Running Club. All right, guys, still with us?
Yep, still there.
Good, right, okay. Now, you can get back off they've been dancing around the studio, honestly. They've got so much energy, these runners. Now, Angie, let's talk to you. And we were talking earlier a bit about cross-country, so kind of run me through, like, a day in the life of a cross-country outing. I mean, you all go up in cars together?
Yeah, we all share lists. We go out there together.
Okay. What's the muddiest one you've been to, do you think?
Oh, must be. Oh, I can't remember now. Swanley was quite muddy.
Okay, so you turn up at Swanley and you think, oh my, look at the state of that. We've got to run in that. And so what happens next? You kind of you have to register, or
We already got our numbers ready.
Yeah.
So pin our numbers on.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to the start together.
So how many races would there be? Say
one race.
Just one race.
Just for the ladies.
Okay.
And then the men is after.
So the ladies' race is all age categories, but are you graded in within that race? So you'd be in a certain category, but someone that's obviously 10 years older than you would be in a different. But you all run in the same race.
All run together.
Okay. I mean, do you normally find that there's like the same old pecking order in the club, that you get a certain one at the front and a certain one at the back?
Yeah. And it gets even more exciting when we change pecking order.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
Bit of competition.
So it's probably the races are probably of a different length, because it depends on the courses, but kind of how long are you on your feet for if you're doing a cross-country race?
For the ladies, it's 5k.
Okay, so it's measured 5k.
5k.
Yeah.
So running for between just over 20 minutes to however long,
and
30 minutes.
And some of the courses, are they like one 5k course, or do you do like 3 or 4 laps?
For ladies, it's usually 2-lap course.
Yeah, okay. And so do you often look at the weather forecast before you go up, or you'd rather not know about it?
Oh yes, but it can be a surprise.
Yeah,
all that wind as well.
Yeah,
it's tough, and the rain.
Is it like that?
We still enjoy it though.
Good,
great fun.
So actually, how many ladies in the team when you go up.
We've had a really good year this year. We've had over 10 ladies for every single race.
Have you? Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant this year.
Now, what about the men, Tim? How many men do you get out on a cross country?
Well, this year's been an exception, really. I mean, often we have to follow the ladies, so the ladies have always been quite well supported in the cross country. This year, the men have sort of taken it on board as well. We've actually had over 12 runners every time, which, there is actually a category, like the top 12 teams, if you like. So we've been scoring in every race this time, which is, fantastic. Again, we have a kind of wide range of abilities amongst those runners, but we all support one another. Yeah. It's just important we all get across that finish line, really.
Right. And do the ladies go first, which obviously churns up the course, makes it a bit tougher for you guys? Oh, that's really thoughtful of you, Angie.
Yeah. Normally we get the juniors and the ladies will churn it up for us.
Oh, you get the juniors as well?
Yeah. Okay. We're normally the very last to run it, so we get the worst conditions, obviously.
And if you're at the back, it must be hell. You're up to your knees in it. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, right. Oh, it sounds like good fun. Okay. So, do you find that perhaps runners that are really good on the flat, on the road races and on the track, perhaps they don't like cross country? Is it like a hardcore?
I'll be honest with you, it's not my favourite. I prefer the road any day of the week, but because of the team spirit, I just want to be part of that and involved. There are a few runners that love the mud, and there are certain experienced runners that love every condition, and they excel in every condition, and it's
I must admit that, I mean, on the Boxing Day run that I used to run, but now I've just involved in another way, you used to see some of these guys kind of just floating across the mud. I don't know how they do it. It's just so light on the feet, some runners, aren't they?
No, and when you said earlier about photos, I take the worst photos ever, and it is so frustrating. You put so much effort in and you look at the pictures and think, that is awful. And then you get people like Mr. Weeks that just look perfect in every picture.
He's always floating, isn't he? And he's always grimacing. He's flat out.
He has his guns with his hands, and he's just like, it's the perfect model, really, the role model.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to play a bit of music now, and I don't know, we'll have a chat later, shall we? Glad all over. It stopped that time. Great, it worked. Listeners, honestly, it wasn't a Ferret fail, it was a machine fail that time, because that tune was supposed to come up later. But there's a little story to that tune. Tim, tell us a little bit now. You requested that specially. Now, why is that tune special to you, sitting there in your Crystal Palace shirt?
Well, obviously it's our anthem when we come out on the pitch, and it gets me going every time, that song.
Okay.
So,
is that why you was jumping up and down in the studio there?
Very special song, that one.
I thought it belonged to Blackpool, actually.
I think Blackpool came after us.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, it's a great track anyway. That's 1963. And I'll tell you what, I do remember that song because I'm really old. And those boys, actually, the Dave Clark Five, all came from Tottenham. Did you know that? They came from Tottenham, and where they used to play, gigging around, it was all around the White Hart Lane area. So, I don't know, it should have been a Tottenham song, really. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit of a run now. We're watching the clock already. I can't believe it. And I've got some really important boxing news to tell you about as well. But first of all, we're going to say hello to Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
It's good to see you in there, Rebecca. How old are you?
7.
You're 7. Now, you like running, is that right?
Yeah.
And what runs have you done? Tell me about you've done some special runs, haven't you?
The Ashford Park run and the Folkestone Park run and the Whitstable Park run.
You've done three different places of park runs. So how many park runs have you done?
8 of the Folkestone ones.
8.
3 of the Ashford
9,
ones
10,
and
11.
1 of the Whitstable ones.
12 park runs. Oh, well done. You'll be getting one of them T-shirts soon, won't you, that you get for doing them park runs? Yeah, good. Okay. Right, I'll tell you what, Tim, we'll have a little chat about park run. Thanks for Rebecca. Now, is there anyone you want to say hello to? Is your nanny listening? Well, we don't. But you don't. No, you don't shrug on radio and you don't nod. You go, no, Ferret. Anyway, we want to say hello to Rebecca's nan. Morning, nan. I know you're listening. We're going to get you a copy of this anyway. So we're going to try and get Adam up and Abigail up just to say hello before the show's out. But let's talk park run, Tim. So are you a keen follower of park run?
Yeah, absolutely love it. Obviously, Folkestone's got its own park run, which run by Maggie Rose. Brilliant event every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock along the Lees.
Yep.
It's just great, for us runners, if we want to sort of test ourselves a bit, or even if we just want to plod along, to be honest. It's just something there that we can have a time.
And it's nice, obviously, Rebecca was saying that she's done it, so you can take the kids along as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, it's quite a hard distance for Rebecca, if I'm honest. but there's some junior part runs now, which is what she's got involved in as well, which are, a bit less distance.
Oh, so there's a junior part run?
Yeah, there's junior one now started in Ashford.
Oh, I see.
And we found one in Whitstable as well.
Oh, I see. So is that the same sort of, they do the senior and the junior wham bang sort of straight away?
They normally do the juniors on a Sunday. So it's
different
completely
day, yeah?
new volunteers and a less course. But the Folkestone one's gone from strength to strength, to be honest, since it started just over a year ago now.
Yeah, it's just over a year. I remember I remember going along to the very, very first one and to the anniversary one as well. Yeah, and I always have a little mention for the park run because it is free, and that's the thing. Park run is global, isn't it? It
is.
We've seen pictures on Facebook of people like in South Africa, in America, doing park run. So runners, if ever you're going anywhere, take your kit. And in fact, I think there's a certain couple of members of your club that kind of really, really target other park runs, don't they?
Yeah, Nobby and Caroline from the club, they go all over the place, to be honest. I mean, they've sort of started a trend now because everyone else is like, well, we want to go somewhere they haven't been. So, it's one of those, if you're going away for a weekend and there's a park run, we often try and get in there and find one they haven't done yet.
Yeah, right. I must admit, when I was running for 2 years running, I tried to find 10Ks, and at the time there wasn't so many races around, but I did find them, and I did have to travel. And I remember the second year that I did it, I'd done nine 10Ks, and it was a freezing cold Sunday morning, and the nearest 10K was in Brighton. And I said to Mrs. Ferret, "You come in." She said, "No, I'm not cut." So all I did, I jumped in the car, freezing cold day. I did a 10K along the Brighton seafront. Didn't speak to anyone. Got back in the car and come home. But I'd done it. Found my 10Ks. We used to go all over the place, which is a good thing about running. It does make you get up and go, visit places you've never been before, and socialise with other guys. So now we've got this song coming up. It's got a funny title. It's by Naughty Boy, Beyonce and Arrow Benjamin. It's been requested by the kids there. What exactly is it called, this song?
It's called Running.
Oh, is it? Well, let's play it then and see what it sounds like.
I lose myself, I lose it all.
They're the slowest running song I've ever heard. I think if you had that in your headphones, you'd be doing a personal worst. But it's a great track, don't get me wrong, but I should think if you're running, you probably sit down on a bench on the way. Okay, now I've got so much to get through. I'm going to crack on with a bit of sport now. We're going to talk rugby. As I said, last week I went down to watch the first 15 Folkestone Rugby Club, and they beat Polborough 23-5. It really was a great game, and they got off to a shaky start, actually, Folkestone. But they pulled it back, and there was never any doubt it was always going to be a Folkestone victory. Now, what else have we got? The third team, the third 15, sadly, they lost on the final kick of the game to Maidstone. Oh, yeah, what a heartbreaking way to go out. It was the last kick of the game, and they went down 15-17. This week, last week it was Cup Week. On Sunday, the under-15s beat Dover 15-0. The under-13s sadly lost 38-15 to Canterbury, but the under-14s beat Deal Betshanger 19 points to 12 to reach the final of the East Kent Cup. So well done to the under-14s there. Now today, the first team, they visit Uckfield, and they will be on a high after making such a great team performance last week. The seconds are at home to Weavering. They come from Maidstone, and the thirds are away to Sittingbourne Warriors. Bit of stuff now. Santa Run's tomorrow. Don't forget that, guys. Get down to Bouverie Place. Registration is from 10 o'clock. The race starts at 11:30, and the finish will be on the Lees. So get your Santa suit out if you've got one from last year, or just get down there. Once you've entered, you get a new suit. It's great fun, and you just can't recognise your best buddies really because they all look the same. Don't forget the Boxing Day run. That's on the 26th, of course. That's the 41st year of the Boxing Day run up there. It's a great way to run off. It says here 3 miles of mud and hills. Angie, I love this one, and the girls they should be in with a shout with some medals, all the mud they've been running through. So that's the Boxing Day fun run, and those guys there have raised thousands of pounds for motor neurone over the years. So get yourselves up there. And if you're not doing that, there's always, if you fancy this, the Boxing Day dip. The Folkestone Lions, they organise that. The registration is from 11:45 on Sunny Sands down by the ship. There's a fancy dress judging competition, and the dip is at 1:30. And I always say this every year, that if you're going to do the Boxing Day dip and you change your mind at the last minute, are you a chicken dipper? There you go. I got that in a Christmas cracker last night. Okay, now this is the boxing news I've been telling you about. A little update on Conor Quigley and his trip to Gibraltar. He was picked out at the last minute to represent a London select team. He went to Gibraltar, but sadly he lost on a split points decision in which was a very close competition. Now, I've been speaking to Barry Pluck during the week, and he tells me that, we shouldn't say this really, but the Gibraltar referees can be a little bit biased. But anyway, Conor, great experience for you, and he's got another fight coming up soon on a show in Sandwich this Monday, which will make it 3 bouts in just over 3 weeks. But this is the news. This is the boxing exclusive, live on radio, before the newspapers hit it. The only place you might have seen this is on Josh Kennedy's Facebook page. Now, Josh has been asked to box on the David Hay comeback fight at the O2 Arena on Saturday the 16th of January. Now, the biggest capacity that Josh has fought at before is about 1,500 there, up at the York Hall, but they are expecting a capacity crowd of 16,000 people in the O2. I mean, he must be buzzing, actually. He must be absolutely on fire, Josh. And I'll tell you what, he's taking part in the Santa Run, and he will, as soon as that gun goes, he would just go flat out. This man has got so much energy, and I'm sure he'd be in the top. Yeah, he might even win it tomorrow. And he's so fit, that lad. Anyway, what a great opportunity, fighting in front of 16,000 people. Don't forget, you heard it first on the Sports Ferret Show. Now, another bit of bowls news. 2 former guests of the show, Anna Hall, who's only 17, Leah Bamford, 16, and they were joined by 11-year-old Nick Holly in the junior 2-wood triples competition up in Swanley last week. And as I say, don't forget, if you remember rightly, we had Anna and Leah in the show a few weeks ago. Now, 17 teams entered the competition, and the trio made it to the final, but they were beaten by the guys, a male trio from Sittingbourne. So it was really good for that representing Folkestone Indoor Bowls Club there. And if you're a junior, that's between 7 and 17 years old, and want to try indoor bowls, then go along to Cheriton Road. That's next to the Invicta ground. You can't miss it. Great big building. That's on a Saturday between 5:30 and 7:30. Just tell them the Ferret sent you along, and you'll get a little introduction there. Okay, so we're going to go back to a bit of music now. I can't believe it's 10 to already. We're going to play a song, and then we're going to talk with Tim and Angie a bit more running. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to R. Kelly. We'll just keep buzzing over in the background there because we're running out of time. We want to bring Tim and Angie back in. Now, I just will mention, actually, that I was speaking to Pat Hannis, the junior coach, during the week, and we've agreed that because the junior section is so big that we're going to give them some time on their own in the springtime when they'll be kind of recruiting and they'll be running outside. And so we haven't forgotten you juniors. But Tim, now you've got a bit of... let's do some thank yous first. Tell us about some key players at the club. People that really deserve a little pat on the back.
We got Margaret's our chairperson. She's keeping things ticking over, keeping us all gelled together at the moment. So big thanks to her. And really the committee, we've got all our coaches at the club, Catherine and Dave and Mick. They'll do wonderful stuff up there, and we've had help from the likes of Chris Addison as well, and Malcolm and Judy Gibbs. It's just keeping things ticking over. It's a real kind of committee kind of feel about it. We all chip in, we all do our own bits, to be honest. Okay, and if someone's listening to this and thinking, I used to do a bit of running, and perhaps it's whetted my appetite again, how can they get in touch? What do they do? When's your training time, stuff like that? We train twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Three Hills. Thursday's the best night to turn up for beginners, to be honest, from 6:30. Yeah. We're welcome there. We've got people there that will look after them, one-on-one sort of training with them. But really, our website's got the most information on, really. If they go to www.folkestonerunningclub.co.uk or find our Facebook page. There's loads of details on there on how to get in touch. Okay, right. So now then, you've got a little special function tonight, I understand. A little fun night. The runners are letting their hair down tonight, I understand. Tell us about that. And I understand you've got some awards to give away. Yeah, it's our awards night tonight with a meal. The light cook comes off and we all glam up for the night. We've got some awards: best newcomer, best effort, most improved, and we have our big one as well, which is our kind of personality of the year award. which all the members vote for. To find out the person that's had most impact this year.
So that's just one award. It could be male or female?
There's one for each. One male, one female.
Okay,
so
right. Excellent. And all right, so there'll be no running tomorrow then for you guys. It will be nursing hangovers.
We are going to actually pop along to the Santa one. We might well have a go at that as a family.
Oh, that'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah, but last year the girls did a bit of entertainment on the night. They did a cheerleading act.
Oh, did they?
So they're expecting something from the men tonight. But
that'd be good.
Yeah,
we got hidden cameras, hopefully, to record this event.
Obviously, I can't comment on what may or may not happen later.
Oh, so it's all hush-hush.
Hush-hush at the moment, yeah.
So, Angie, you're wondering where he's been every Wednesday night for the last 6 weeks?
Secret meetings.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. I look forward to hearing about that. And I'm sure that it would be breaking news on Facebook tomorrow morning. Well, I want to thank you both for coming in. It's been really, really good talking to you. As you know, you both know, I used to love running. Injuries and other things for me have stopped. I just have a little jog now and then. I'm lucky that I'm still involved with running in that I commentate on a lot of local fun runs and I still get the buzz, but I just don't get the aches and pains anymore. But no, it has been good for you all to come in. So, kids, now we're going to have one last little go at getting these kids to the microphone. We've been practicing. All they've got to say is one word, and so if you get around now, are we all ready? We have been practicing this word. It begins with G. All right, we all got it? Yeah. Okay. What are you going to say? Goodbye. That's it. So goodbye, everyone. We're going to finish off with Kylie Minogue, a Santa song, and Santa Baby. Tim and Angie, thanks for coming in, and have a great night tonight.
Thank
no
you.
hangovers. I might see you at the fun run tomorrow. I'll be dressed in red. See you there.
105.9 Academy FM.
The Saturday Sports Show, brought to you by the Natural Health Centre in Folkestone, giving your body the mobility and well-being it deserves.
105.9 Academy FM.
Oh.